everyone, Draco Magnius here for another episode of Let's Play Virtue's Last Reward. In the last episode, we left the treatment center. We told everyone about it, what we discovered about 3 people being frozen, the fact that we put Quark in there, and discussed how we were all going to vote. In this episode, we're going to go do that. I choose...
3, 2, 1.
Always bring it down to the last second, don't you, Sigma? Your vote has been recorded. Please wait.
Round 2 of the Ambidex game has been completed.
I did pick Ally, right? I don't know why I'm second-guessing myself here, but yeah, picked Ally.
Results will be displayed in the warehouse.
All right.
Thank you for your participation.
Real quick, let me check again. Whoops, I goofed that up a bit. Yeah, both have line down. It goes from whatever it is to whatever comes after. Okay. Okay.
Ambidex gates now opening.
What did you choose, Sigma?
You didn't see me push the button?
No.
Huh. Well, you'll know in a moment. Let's go. I gave her a light pat on the shoulder and headed toward the wall where the results would be displayed.
Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen.
Well, let's see if it played out exactly like I thought. Yeah, that was obvious. So was that. And of course, that was too. So yeah, it'd be only me and Clover that got out.
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly.
So now, in the next round we go through, the potential for Phi Sigma, I was going to say me, but let's just go with the characters. Phi Sigma, Clover, and Quark to get out are higher. And I mean, I guess K too, if he decides to betray whoever he's going up against.
Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
So you chose Ally, huh?
Yeah. Quark is sick, a kid, and unable to vote. I couldn't bring myself to betray someone like that.
Thank you.
No need to thank me. I only did what anyone would have. So you guys chose Ally too, huh?
Of course. Tenmyoji had only 1 BP left, and he was guaranteed to vote Ally. So there's no way we could betray somebody in that position. If we had, then he'd...
Yeah, you didn't have much choice. Alice K and Dio, on the other hand, seem to have had a less than pleasant round, for obvious reasons.
Hey, what the hell is your problem?
Yeah, he was gonna try and fucking murder you guys.
You're either crazy or just an asshole.
Well, he's both, if it makes you feel better.
Were you trying to kill me?
Yes!
No, nothing like that.
Nothing like that! That was literally what you did! Fuck you, Dio!
Then what was it like? If we'd voted Ally,
You would be dead. The needles in your bracelet would have activated, killing you.
Well, I mean, I got the cure for that shit, but... I mean, he still would have been an asshole
See,
and left.
that's exactly what I'm talking about. I didn't think there was any way in hell you guys would choose Ally, not with Alice's BP at 1. The only way you could possibly vote was betray.
I mean, that sounds reasonable, but I don't fucking believe you, Dio.
Picking Ally when I knew you guys would pick Betray would have been suicide.
I mean, you don't have 1 BP. Worst case scenario, you would have lost points.
You can't die. You've got 6 BP.
Well, maybe not immediately, no. But I would have been signing my own death warrant. Heck, not just mine. Everyone except Kay's.
What?
Didn't you think it through? Your vote was always going to be Betray.
Alright, yeah, Kay would have gotten 3 points if he picked Ally. Never mind. I mean, it's reasonable what Dio's saying, but he was probably not giving a second thought to killing Alice. Let's be real here. Considering he's the most likely subject as her murderer. A suspect, rather, for her murder in several other timelines.
Let's say I was a raving lunatic and picked Ally. What would happen to Kay's BP?
6 plus 3 would make 9.
See? Then it'd be game over. Life over. He'd open the number 9 door and blow this popsicle stand. And that'd leave us twisting in the wind, living out the rest of our miserable lives stuck in this place. You see? That's why I chose Betray. I did it to save all our necks, including yours.
Oh, don't make yourself out like some sort of hero, Dio. That's a story no one's gonna fucking buy. Alice gritted her teeth and scowled fiercely at Dio, apparently trying to think of a rebuttal, before finally snorting indignantly and stalking away. Shortly thereafter, the warehouse was filled with the rumbling sound of the doors sliding shut.
The Ambidex gates have closed. Round 3 of the Ambidex game will be the Star Round. Star keys are required to open the gates.
But wait, someone should have found the Axcelavir. Someone went to the lab, right?
There is no set limit on usage of the Star keys. The Ambidex gates can be opened as many times as the players wish to open them.
As many times as we want, huh? Then that
We
means...
can play the AB game as many times as we want, right?
Yeah.
Hey, didn't Zero Jr. say something about this?
As soon as the gates close, your colors get all shuffled up automatically.
And everyone's alive until Alice dies because someone murders her, probably. Look, it's happened so many times, it's just obvious it's gonna happen.
The pair and Solo is starting to top around a bit too.
Yeah, he did. Can you guys all show me your bracelets? I want to see what all our colors and groups are this time. Within moments, a series of wrists were extended for me to examine. Okay. Sure. Right. Okay. Wait, am I a solo this time? Weird. I see. Luna and Clover are a cyan pair, and Phi and Alice are a magenta pair. The remaining 3 are all solos. Kay is red, Dio is green, and I'm blue. So, how are the groups supposed to work for the next round? I think the next doors are going to be those white ones down in the Floor B warehouse.
Yeah, I heard about those. Alice told me about them while we were here waiting for you and Clover. I think I've got them figured out.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. So lay it on. Fuck. Yeah. So lay it out for us. How are the groups going to shake out this time? I nodded and began to explain. Option A. Wait, there's more than one option? Huh. Weird. I thought it was always just a single option on this one. Tenmyoji and Quark, yellow, pair up with me, blue, to open one door. Phi and Alice, magenta, pair up with Dio, green, to open another door. Luna and Clover, cyan, pair up with Kay, red, to open the last one.
Oh? Is there only one option?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm gonna be with Tenmyoji and Quark.
No other combinations would be able to open the secondary doors. Admittedly, Tenmyoji and Quark aren't here for us to check, but I'm sure they're the yellow pair.
And if they are, that means we're gonna have to take Quark out of his pod.
If they weren't, then Sigma would be stuck without anybody he could pair up with.
Oh God. I never thought I'd have to put up with Dio again.
Yeah, it sucks, Alice, because he's gonna betray you again.
Well, you just didn't think hard enough then. Sooner or later, everybody puts up with Dio. Wait.
It's sad but true. I mean, I've had to put up with him a couple times. That asshole.
So, what should we do now? It looks like we have a lot of time until the primary doors open.
Did you guys find any Axcelavir? Because I did in another timeline, so one of these groups should have it. I forget which one, but one of them. Yeah, about 80 minutes.
I'm worried about Quark's condition. Those pods can't cure Radical 6. He still needs help.
Well, we don't have anything to lose, so we might as well look for that medicine.
Hey, Alice, can I look...
Axcelavir, right?
Oh, sorry. Didn't realize you were still going. Anyway, Alice, can I look around for Axcelavir with you? Because every time we've left you alone at this point in the game, you die, and I'm sick and tired of seeing it.
Yeah. What about the rest of you?
Oh, I'll help.
As will I.
Really? No one found Axcelavir? Was Dio in that room again? Because I don't think he was.
Me too.
Fine. I guess I can help.
Hopefully Dio doesn't find it because he'll hold it all over all of our heads.
What about you, Sigma?
Of course I'll help. What kind of jerk wouldn't? Right, Dio?
Okay. We should split up and search.
After some discussion, Dio and Kay were assigned to the pantry, Luna and Alice to the treatment center, Clover and Phi and myself the pressure exchange chamber. Wait, hold on. Oh god, Luna and Alice are together. That means they both might die. Can I go with the Luna-Alice pair to make sure neither of them die, or at the very least I'm aware of who did it?
Shall we regroup in the Floor B warehouse 10 minutes before the doors open?
We all nodded. Kay turned to Alice and Luna.
You are going to the treatment center, correct?
Yes.
Well, to be fair, it is the treatment center, so they should be safe.
Then please remember to tell Tenmyoji where we intend to meet and when.
Okay.
You must also remember to bring Quark with you. I am concerned about removing him from the pod, but it can't be helped.
Yeah, we do have to remove him, since the freezing strategy isn't going to work this time around.
Without Quark's bracelet, Sigma and Tenmyoji will be unable to open the secondary door.
Right. Good. Looks like we got all that straightened out. Let's go.
Wow, a round where everyone is going to go through. The white doors, I'm just... It's unbelievable. I'm not half. I am totally expecting 2 or more people to die, even though in theory they should be safe. With a final nod to one another, we split up, each team heading in a different direction. Why we would look in the PEC is beyond me, but okay. So this is the pressure exchange chamber. Wait, did the other team not go to the laboratory? Did they say somewhere else? Was I not paying full attention? I probably just missed it completely.
No, this is the prep room. There are 2 levels. The actual pressure exchange chamber is downstairs. How do you know that? Alice told me. She was one of the people who investigated this room.
Did you talk to her when you were waiting for us back in the warehouse?
Yeah.
Well, let's head downstairs then.
Good idea.
So this is the real thing.
Seems like it.
Why do they have something like this here?
Well, this is just what Alice told me, but
Apparently, the pressure inside the facility was a lot higher than the pressure outside. That was part of a system designed to keep the virus from getting in. It did mean, however, that we needed to go through the decompression process in order to get outside.
remember all those suits along the wall of the prep room?
Right, yeah.
Those keep you from getting infected. We won't even be able to enter the pressure exchange chamber if we don't have them on.
I see. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Then that newspaper article was right?!
Unfortunately, that seems pretty likely.
So the air out there is teeming with Radical 6?
Yeah.
Something's been bothering me.
What is it?
Aren't you saying that if we put on those suits, we can go into the pressure exchange chamber and go outside, right?
Oh. No, we can't do that. The door beyond the pressure exchange chamber is locked up tight.
Damn it. Just one door between us and freedom.
Well, if you look at it that way, it's the same as the number 9 door.
Okay, yeah, but... 2 doors
Whatever.
between us and freedom.
We need to be focusing on finding that Axcelavir. Quark
Right.
needs it.
Yeah, you're right.
I'll go look around upstairs. You two take this floor, alright?
Okay, sure. Got it.
Okay.
We looked everywhere we could think of, but turned up nothing. Eventually, I couldn't help my mouth... Eventually, I couldn't keep my mouth shut any longer. Hey, what do you think the deal is with this stuff about the world being infested with some crazy virus? The pandemic seems like it would make the news, but I don't remember hearing anything. Wait a minute. You mentioned it, didn't you? Back when Dio was asking questions? We were in the infirmary. It was right after Quark lost it.
Have any of you guys heard anything about any sort of viral pandemic?
Well, no. But
And then Alice said,
I have heard rumors about a virus being used as a bioweapon.
so what's the rumor she was talking about? I got the feeling you and Alice were talking about the same thing. Clover, what do you do? Clover, what do you know? What are you and Alice hiding? What are you and Alice anyway? I heard you guys belong to some sort of organization, but what is it? Clover was quiet for a long time. She bit her thumbnail and looked down at the floor. Then finally, she lifted her head and met my eyes.
fine.
Oh, shit, we get this information.
I think I can trust you. Just don't tell Alice, okay?
Can do. All right.
Promise?
Promise. Clover nodded and began to talk. I listened with rapt attention, at a complete loss for words. Here's what she said. Alice and I are agents of the SOIS, which is under the jurisdiction of the Department of Defense. SOIS stands for Special Office of Internal Security. We were an elite intelligence And we're an elite intelligence division that investigates potential disruptive or dangerous elements, such as domestic or foreign terrorists, radical political splinter groups, and religious organizations with extreme agendas that could pose a threat to the state or citizenry. Our existence hasn't been made public, so there are no... Our existence hasn't been made public, so there are only a few people who even know we exist. You're probably wondering how I even got involved in something like that, huh? Well, it started when I met Alice. I told you that I played the nonary game twice before, right? Well, this was after the second time. So, about a year ago. We just escaped, and we were all stuffed into this SUV barreling across the desert. I was driving. And that's when I saw her. Alice. Oh, right, this woman. She was never really explained who she was she? She was standing next to the road with her thumb out. She was already working for the SOIS, and she'd been on her way to the building when we On her way to the building we'd been trapped in as part of her investigation. But on the way there, her car had broken down. We offered to give her a ride, of course. After she got in, we started talking, and it turned out that Alice had gotten a tip that the terrorists she was after were in the building we'd been trapped in. Dang, I keep fumbling all over everything. We couldn't see how us playing the nonary game had anything to do with the terrorists. And my battery's dying. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back! But Alice had a suggestion. Maybe the two people who trapped you in there are the terrorists. That didn't seem very likely to us, but we were chasing after them anyway, so we decided to bring Alice with us. Unfortunately, we didn't find them. As far as we know, they're still out there now on the run. Anyway, we were taken back to the SOIS headquarters and put into custody. I guess they thought there had to be some kind of connection between us being kidnapped and the terrorist group they were investigating. But they must not have found anything, because after a few days of questioning, they let us go. We all went home and returned to our lives. But things didn't go back to the way they'd been. My mom got really worried about me and my brother since we'd gotten kidnapped twice now, so she hired bodyguards for us. Oh, I haven't told you about my brother, have I? He's super awesome, for one. Well, glad that hasn't changed. And he was in both the last two nonary games, too. Anyway, we'd been grabbed twice. But the people behind the two nonary games were totally different. That didn't matter to my mom, though. So after that, all these huge men in black suits followed me and my brother everywhere. It was awful. We were always being watched. People would always look at us funny because we were followed around by a bunch of creepy-looking guys. I couldn't stand it. Just when I thought I'd finally be free, all that was waiting for me was another kind of prison. The only time I was really happy was when I was hanging out with my brother. So we were talking it over one day, and we decided to leave. Like, run away. So we did it! After that, we lived on our own. I worked in a cafe, and he composed music. He plays the harp, and he started with writing this kind of new-agey music. It got kind of popular, so we didn't have to worry too much about surviving. Sometimes he'd play at little venues like coffee houses and stuff, and his fans would show up and listen to him play and cry. Or some of them would meet up on their own and recite stuff from the book he'd written and play his songs. I know that sounds kind of, like, weird and culty, but they just do that stuff on their own, okay? My brother doesn't have anything to do with it. Anyway, we did that for a while, and then one day Alice showed up. "I need your help," she told us. "We need people who can do what you can do." So we went to the location she gave us, and it turned out to be the headquarters of the SOIS, where they had taken us after the second nonary game. They put us in a room with about a dozen or so other people who were all about the same age as us. A bunch of them looked familiar, too. It only took a moment to realize how we knew each other. They were the kids from the first nonary game. We were all excited to see each other again. We were all hugging and shaking hands and stuff. And then Alice walked in. The whole room went quiet. She walked up to the podium and looked around the room, making eye contact with each one of us. Right, now a terrorist organization is preparing for a major attack. They plan to trigger a viral pandemic. If they succeed, they'll strike a massive blow against all of humanity, not just one country. It's possible that we as a species will die out completely. We're doing our best to prevent this, but we need your help. You are what we call espers. You have the ability to access the morphogenic field. We need that. I'm guessing you don't know what any of that is, but basically we can do this thing that's kind of like telepathy. I mean, it isn't really telepathy, but it's probably the closest thing, okay? Espers can resonate their consciousness with another person through this thing called the morphogenic field. The purpose of the first nonary game was to research that ability. So they kidnapped kids who had the potential to do it and threw them into a game. Alice had gathered up the kids from the experiment. Well, I mean, it had been 9 years since that happened, so we weren't really kids anymore. Anyway, everybody she brought in was an Esper. That included me and my brother, of course. I bet you think I'm just making all this up, huh? I don't blame you. It's pretty crazy. I mean, I was even starting to forget I could do that stuff. So when I heard Alice's story, I was like, screw that! I was trying to move on with my life, and now some shady government creeps wanted me to use some weird ability I had for them? No way! I wasn't even sure I could do it anymore. Some of the others felt differently, though, and they told Alice they'd do it. It was a job, after all, and most people wouldn't turn down a salary like that. Oh right, I forgot to tell you, she told us how much they'd pay us if we helped. It was a lot. More wealth than you can imagine. But I was still totally against doing it. My brother told me he'd go along with whatever I decided, so I decided we were leaving. A couple of days passed, and then Alice showed up at our apartment. She didn't waste time. The people behind the first nonary game might have been part of the terrorist organization Alice and the SOIS are after. Wasn't that, she asked, something that I might want to know more about? That got me curious. My brother, too. But the clincher was that Seven said to us, or what Seven said to us, rather. He was one of the guys that got abducted with us for the second nonary game. She called him on her phone right then and there, and handed it to us. You guys are the only people who can do this. We don't know where Junpei is. He's gone off to travel the world, looking for Akane. I haven't been able to get a hold of him. Please, just do me a favor and help Alice out. Junpei, like Seven, another participant in the second nonary game. Akane, one of the people behind the second nonary game. Seven was a Japanese policeman, which was probably how Alice got in touch with him. Anyway, that did it. My brother and I agreed to join the SOIS. For the next couple of months, all we did was train. Half of the time, it was general knowledge and technical skills an SOIS agent needed, and the other half was learning to strengthen our Esper abilities. They'd actually known about Espers for quite a while, and had a lot of techniques that helped us get better and stronger. After several months of hard work, we were finally ready for our first field missions. Mine was an infiltration. My brother stayed at the base, so I could relay information back through him. I was supposed to sneak into a research facility, posing as one of their workers, and then using the morphogenic field to transmit what I had found back to my brother. But everything went wrong. It was a trap. The whole research facility was fake, and I had gotten captured. Alice had to come and rescue me. I'd been sending information about the inside of the facility to my brother, and Alice used that information to come find me. As soon as she got there, she picked me up and carried me out. I was relieved and happy to be alive and free, but I also felt ashamed and miserable. While she was carrying me back out, I started to cry. She was just so cool, and I wasn't. I wanted to be just like her. So from that day onward, I did everything I could to be more like Alice. Our infiltration ended in failure, but we did manage to get something useful. In fact, we were able to figure out where their headquarters was. The directors decided that December 25th, 2028 would be the day we would strike. This time, I promised myself I wouldn't screw it up. I was finally going to get some answers about something that had been with me for most of my life. But then on December 22nd, 3 days before the raid, Alice and I were attacked by people in gas masks while we were going over our plans.